Have you ever had an Almond Joy bar and you enjoy the nuttiness, coconuttiness, chocolatey flavor of the bar? Well, today I'm making an Almond Joy inspired cupcake. So wait no longer and follow me for the recipe.
To start, you're going to need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Let's give this a quick whisk and set it aside. To start with the wet ingredients, you're going to need 1 cup of unsalted room temperature butter and 2 cups of sifted granulated sugar. We're going to cream the butter and sugar together for about 2 to 3 minutes. To this, we're going to add 4 large eggs, but we're going to start by adding them one at a time and beating them in one at a time. Let's make sure to scrape down the sides of the bowl to get everything combined into our already mixture. To this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract and then 1/8 teaspoon of almond extract. Now we're going to add our flour mixture and our coconut milk, but we're going to start by adding a little bit of our flour mixture and mixing it in. Then we're going to add a little bit of our coconut milk, and it's going to be a total of 1 cup, but we're going to add it a little bit at a time and mixing it in. So in short, you're going to be alternating your flour and coconut milk, ending with your flour. Don't forget to scrape the sides of your bowls. Once our batter is done, we're going to add 1 cup of sweetened or unsweetened shredded coconut. And you're just going to fold it in with your spatula because we don't want to over mix our batter. Now I have my cupcake pan lined with cupcake lining. And you're going to fill up each cupcake lining about 3/4 of the way. In my case, I'm using a large ice cream scoop and I'm using 2 scoops per cupcake. Now we're going to bake them in the oven at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Post bake, we're going to make our chocolate buttercream, and you're going to need 2 cups of unsalted room temperature butter. We're going to cream our butter until it turns a light pale yellow and it's nice and fluffy. It could take between 6 to 10 minutes to achieve that. And this is what it's going to kind of look like. It's a nice pale yellow and it's really fluffy. Once you've achieved that, we're going to add 4.5 cups of sifted powdered sugar and 1 cup of cocoa powder, good cocoa powder, but we're going to start by adding 1/2 cup first. And then start mixing everything on low, that way you don't have sugar and cocoa powder flying everywhere. Then add the rest of your powdered sugar and cocoa powder. Now for the liquids, I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream and about 8 to 10 tablespoons of whole milk. Now in this part, it could differentiate. You either want it a little bit harder or a little bit looser. I like it a consistency that is easily pipeable. And I add liquid as I go, always making sure to scrape the sides of my bowl to get everything combined. Now we're gonna add a 4th teaspoon salt and 1 tablespoon vanilla extract. We're just going to beat that into our frosting, and as you can see, I still have some white, which is some heavy cream. You're gonna have to keep adding heavy cream and milk until you get the consistency that you want, and I've reached this consistency, which I believe is perfect for piping these cupcakes. I'm using this large piping tip. You can use whatever shape piping tip that you want. I'm just using the one that's kind of star shaped. You can use round ones, whatever size, whatever tip that you want to use. And you're just gonna stick it in your bag and make sure that you measure out the tip and then cut it to where the tip can easily come out from the bottom, but yet is still tight where the bag tip meets the actual piping tip. Now you're just gonna fill your bag with your icing. I just rolled down the bag, that way it makes it easier for me to fill the bag itself. And you just stick some icing down in there, make sure that you can kind of get it kind of close to your tip. Then you're just going to press your buttercream all the way down, making sure that it gets into the tip itself. And you're going to kind of, just keep pressing it with your fingers and then twist it. That way you create a tight grip on your piping bag. And that is all. You can always do a pipe test on a napkin just to make sure that your frosting comes out nice and clean. You can pipe your cupcakes however you want to do it, but I'm starting by adding the buttercream to the exterior of the cupcake, and I move all the way in by swirling it around. Next, I'm going to add some almonds for the almond joy part of this cupcake. And I'm going to sprinkle it with some shredded coconut. You can use sweetened or unsweetened. I'm using unsweetened. And your cupcake will end up looking like this. Look how pretty.
Now let's give these delicious cupcakes a taste. So I'm just gonna eat it with a fork just because there's no clean way to eat a cupcake. Here's the bite. That's good. You can definitely taste the coconuttiness in the cupcake itself, and then the chocolatiness of the frosting, and then the extra coconut and almonds on the top make it taste like an almond joy bar. It is so delicious. All right guys, so this is it for today's recipe. I hope that you enjoyed making this almond joy inspired cupcake. I will see you in my next recipe. Keep coming back for more. Bye guys.